Joining me now, we've got John in Southwest Virginia. We got Michael Letts from Truth, and I always forget your thing. What is it here, Michael? Here it is. I got it right. I got it right at my fingertips. At Michael in Truth, longtime law enforcement, 30-year law enforcement veteran, and he's going to join us. We've also got John in Southwest Virginia. John, I'm in Indy. Michael is in, I don't know, Chicago or something, but you're here with us. John, what's on your mind?
Okay, good morning. Two quick topics, if I can quickly develop them. One is a comment on the military, and the second one would be a comment on, or a question or a concern I would have on the economy. First of all, the military. I'm starting to see a pattern in dealing with the narco drug boats, the strikes on them, the seditious six, and the complicit news media. What I'm seeing is they're targets, and the press is, and when they're struck, whether you go back once, twice, whatever, if there's any part of that target that's usable, be it the supplies, be it the craft itself, it's still a target. Now, if there are people hanging on to it, that's too bad. The target is the target. The press is trying to focus on the people. That's not right. The seditious six is trying to cause the military to start to question their orders. You see the press coming in and wanting to, every question they ask is about the survivors. The survivors. Can we see the tape? Can we see the tape? And what they don't understand is this can easily cause morale problems, dissension in the ranks if they start to question military orders, because you have people like Senator Tim Kaine, who as far as I know who the guy is, and he doesn't have two brain cells to rub together. Yet he's saying if you follow these orders, you can be tried later when they get back into power. If they get back into power, that's a concern. So what you don't need is when you have some guy coming down the chute to deliver a bomb or deliver a harm or something. You don't need him sitting there questioning whether or not this is going to be right, legal, or whatever. You need him to follow the orders that he's given. And what the press and the seditious six and all them are doing right now is starting to plant that seed of doubt, that questioning that a person would have perhaps when they're trying to carry out the mission. So that's the first point. The second one is on the.
Because remember, this is just a little media training, right? Just remember this for life. If you ask two questions at once, you only get the second part of the question answered ever, because that's all the person remembers. So if you ask me two questions, I'm going to answer the second one and move on. So let's hold your second one. You said a lot. Let's get Michael P. Letts involved. John from Virginia, Michael, his concern is that this whole thing is tied together in that we now want our military, our law enforcement to question everything that Trump does, everything the administration does to stop them, in fear that when if they ever gain power back, they'll prosecute them. How do you operate, Michael P. Letts, under that environment?
You really can operate under that environment. And this is a page out of the playbook that our intelligence agency has used for generations to overthrow governments all across the world. You know, I was involved in the intelligence community. And I can tell you this is the broader question, John. You take a look at what our intelligence agency have done with what you just described in Afghanistan in terms of the shooter at D.C. We know the connections there. The CIA was involved with that. They were supposed to do the vetting, et cetera. We could go down the list. My question is, whose side is the CIA on? And when you're talking about what he just mentioned about the sedition and trying to undercut the military and have them question our commander-in-chief, that's directly out of their playbook. What they do is they build it up, make the military think they're special, which they are, and then they have you question the commander-in-chief. And what they want you to do is to simply, when an occurrence happens, i.e. there is an attempted coup d'etat, they want the military to say, you know what, I think I'll just sit this one out because I'm not sure what I want to do, what's lawful and what's not. Y'all figure it all out, and at the end of the day, tell me who wins, and then we'll swear allegiance to that particular person. That's not what our Constitution says. That's how you destroy the America from within, and that's where they're headed.
Michael, what do you think of what they just did in California? I mean, maybe I'm the only one that was just, I don't even know what the word, I'm dumbfounded by saying we're going to do a portal. And if you see anything, and by the way, you don't have to be a citizen. You can be a criminal, rapist, illegal, immigrant, anything you want, homeless, needles, drug dealer outside of a school. If you see anything that the federal government or any federal official does that is not to your liking, right? Then put the pictures up here, put it in this portal, and the state of California is going to go after them. Well, why don't they just secede?
You're exactly right, John. That is succession in and of itself. You're finding the same thing happening as you mentioned earlier on the show in New York with Mondani. We're not going to enforce federal law up here. Well, let's just go ahead and you remember the sedition issue. I don't know whether any order is lawful anymore. I'll make my own decisions. That is how you get into anarchy real quick. I think what it points to, John, is this. We are much further down the road to the dissolution of this country, to its destruction, than we've ever realized in the past. I think they want you just to sit back and think, we've got a few small problems here, but don't worry about it. At the end of the day, it's all going to be fine, all going to be good, when they are making every effort to make sure that this country collapses, and they're very close to getting that accomplished. We have to recognize the seriousness of the situation and step forward and take action. One of the things we talked about on your show, I'm beginning to wonder what kind of action can we take when Congress is corrupt, our judicial system is corrupt. Tell me something that's not corrupt, John. And in fact, we know the only solution is our forefathers gave us this opportunity is the military tribunals. We're going to have to go there. I hate to mention that. I know people get upset when you mention that. But my question to America, you got a better plan? Let me hear it, because I'm all on board. But what we're doing now is not working.
Well, I think that what John is saying is all this ties in, right? It all ties in to basically creating a chaotic situation and a seditious movement where you question everything. I don't know what the end goal is here other than to just stop Trump. I mean, that's why they shut the government down. The progress was too great. And look, it worked like a charm. I mean, what the Democrats did was work like a charm. They shut the government down. The economy started to tank. Prices didn't go down. People didn't have jobs. Everybody was upset. There were airline problems, right? People got sour, and that's
Correct.
exactly what the Democrats wanted. Trump was having too much success, and they're going to do it again if we don't get rid of the filibuster. They're going to do it again.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right, John. I mean, because of the fact they have one issue in mind, and that's to regain power. They'll do whatever it takes to do that. And we lost a whole lot more than anybody else did with the government shutdown. And they know how to make you portray it that nothing can get accomplished by this administration. What does get accomplished is bad. They portray it that way. And they're doing everything they can to make sure they win the elections in the midterms, so that once they win the election and they regain control of the House or the Senate, we're shut down. It's over. And we need to realize we only have 11 months to save this country, John. That's not long.
We got to lace them up and lace some time to stop the nonsense. You got to get rid of this cloture rule. You got to pass everything. You got 1 year. We got to turn this thing around. We got to get prices down, affordability. We talked about young people earlier. The MAGA young people are getting disillusioned. They're sick of Israel. They're just sick of it. Look, it is what it is. I mean, I talked to hundreds of them. They're sick of Israel. They want the Epstein files released. They're becoming disillusioned. They're sick of Ukraine. They're sick of the money going there, but they're sick of them coming here with their hands out. Young people want jobs. They want it. That's why they voted for Trump, and now they're done with this stuff. And we got to figure this out. We just can't blindly go on and say, "Oh, it's going to be fine." It isn't going to be fine. You got to smell the coffee. All right, John, Southwest Virginia, your second question. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, John. I appreciate your patience. Just as a side there too, as far as the Ukraine and Israel, if the administration thinks that it's real important to stay connected and trying to behind the scenes take care of the settlement, I think they need to do that very quietly and be seen openly trying to work on the economy. And part of the economy that I have a concern about is I think it's human nature for companies, for businesses when their costs go down, their base costs go down, if they've had prices up and sales going on, there's a hesitancy that I've seen on their parts to actually lower prices because they want to try to keep their increased profit margin up. So what I'm afraid might happen is you'll get companies that will have lower costs and not pass any of that on to the consumer right off, and so there'll be a lag in what they could do versus what they do, and the administration will take more of a hit for that from the populace.
Well, listen, they're going to do whatever they can in order to screw us. And if you look at what President Trump has done, where I live in my home in Washington, D.C., the complete metamorphosis that has gone on there, it's now safe, it's getting cleaner. We want it to be safe, beautiful, greatest city in the world. He's getting there. That message not getting out. You know, we got somebody running for mayor. Bowser's not running. We got somebody running for mayor there that wants to, cut the cops. We need another 1,000. She doesn't want to do any of that. That's the super communist that's running for mayor. She wants to get rid of cops, get rid of the National Guard, get the homeless back on tents. I mean, the thing is ridiculous. We got to fight this stuff. Michael, this just in. John, I want to thank you for your call. Thank you for your time. Michael, this just in. NBC reports FBI makes arrest in J6 pipe bomb case. It's going to be the first time we actually got somebody arrested.
Yeah, it's about time. And the reason why you see such a smile on my face, John, look, if we don't start getting accountability, it's over. You and I have talked about this on your show. Thank God, Cash, at least we've got an accountability started, but we're a long way to go. What about all the other J6 organizers who put these people falsely in prison? We realize the statute of limitations runs out in less than 40 days. Let's get the indictments. Folks, here's where it changes America. Our young people are frustrated. I'm frustrated. Everyone's frustrated. You have a great platform, Mr. President. You have the ability to change this country back to where it needs to be. But we've had great rhetoric. Where is the action? And the action means holding people accountable. I'm not telling you to put them in jail. Indict them. Let the jury decide whether they're guilty or not. But we know we have enough facts of what they've done. America knows what they've done. They need to be held accountable. That should be our top priority above anything else, John.
No doubt about it. I mean, you have absolutely nailed it. There needs to be an accountability factor. Instead, we have this unbelievable scandal in Minnesota. And what are we going to get? We're going to get another James Comey oversight investigation run on Fox News. I mean, you have got to be kidding me. Why don't you just shut up and do something? I mean, who cares? The guy doesn't do anything. He has a Fox News camera. He's on 18 times a day. What has Comey done? Has there been a single indictment from anything he's done, Michael?
No, not anything that matters. When they gave the initial indictments, those are petty things. Obstruction of justice. I'm not saying they're not felonies, but purging before Congress. The real things are his being part of the team of sedition on Russiagate, trying to overthrow a duly elected president. Now, how come that hasn't been moved up the ladder? Because we know you can't just indict James Comey if you're going to do that. You got to invite the whole party, and they've been hesitant to do that. Quit the hesitation. People want to see action. You say, well, what if I get it wrong? I'd rather you do something and get it wrong than to do nothing at all. Move forward and get the indictments. America is dependent on it. Our country depends upon it. I can't stake that high enough. And if you say, well, it's too corrupt, we can't do it that way, then move to the military tribunals if we have to. But let's get something done, folks, because what we're doing now just simply isn't working.
So in Minnesota, they actually are indicting one of the people there. I don't know offhand, but there's this $1 billion scam. I mean, when you think about, Michael, what they did is the Somalians came to the U.S. under refugee status, right?
Correct.
They figured out it's very hot in Somalia, so they got to deal with. They figured out, well, we can dominate this area of Minneapolis, and if we dominate it, we can elect our own government, our own
Correct.
sheriff, our own DAs, our own council members, our own mayor, our own congressperson. Ilhan Omar married her brother allegedly.
Right.
We can control the government. And then because we control the votes. Then we figured out that we can scam the taxpayers for $1 billion and nobody will do anything, because if they do, we'll vote them out because we control the votes and we vote as a block. So they figured out how to take over a city in a state. I mean, this is what they've done. It's incredible that this is happening in America. It's no different than what is happening right now in London in the United Kingdom. They figured this out. They get all these votes. So now, they have some indictments. Keith Ellison, right? These guys stole $1 billion. And then a judge throws it out. He just throws it out. Like, well, it's only $1 billion. And they meant well. I don't know what her reasoning was. She throws it out. And Trump says, we just got to get him out of there. Like, the whole city, just deport him back. What is your reaction to that? This is a mess.
Well, I love what the president's thought is, because, quite frankly, there's some merit. Most of those people came in under visa programs that are more than likely 90% of them are probably expired, and they're here illegally anyway. So let's go in and make a massive deportation, get rid of them. But that's just the beginning. What you said was critical, John. They figured out how to beat the system. We're allowing it to happen without accountability. Ship the ones out that don't belong here, but the ones that have robbed us and stole from us, we're going to put them in a jail and then move them over into the ocean to the great white shark feast and finish them off. That's the kind of attitude America is looking for now. That's what makes this whole thing frustrating about the boats within Venezuela, et cetera. Look, it's time we take action. Quit trying to micromanage how we hold people accountable because they've broken the law. Quit acting like they're better than we are. American citizens come first. Law-abiding Americans come first. And if you don't like that, then find you another country to live in. Get out of this one.
See, they didn't come here to create chaos. They came here to take over. This is what people are not getting. It's like they came here and they hate America and they're running around with a Palestinian flag at, college campus. They're here to take over. They figured out we all go to one area, all 80,000 of us, scammers, we all go to one area. We all register to vote, whether we're illegal or not. Nobody's going to check it. We all register to vote. We all get licenses. We all get an ID. We register to vote. We vote our own people in, our own sheriff in. Then the new sheriff says, I'm here to protect Somalians, period. If you're an American, you're at the back of the list. I was elected by Somalians to protect Somalians. Hope things work out. Thank you. Didn't vote for me anyhow. So they take it over through the electoral process that we've allowed it to do, fake ballots, fake votes, all that thing. We allow them to do that. Then they figured out, well, nobody's going to come after us. We got all these benefits. So now we'll just steal $1 billion, scam the system. Nobody will come after us because we'll vote them out and they're scared. So we just scam the system. Then they get caught. And then a sympathetic judge says, nah, we're not going to prosecute you guys, but probably should stop stealing the $1 billion. It's not a good look.
Exactly. I mean, and here we're talking about accountability. How come we haven't locked these people up? How come we haven't? We've allowed a corrupt judicial system to be integrated there? It's the reason why is people are looking and saying, can we do this anymore? Can we actually bring back law and order? Or have we got to the point, John, to where it is a definite two-tier justice system? And if you're here to destroy America, you get your way. And if you're trying to defend it, you get locked up. That's a serious question we need to answer.
I think the Democrats are trying to answer that, and it's the latter. And if you look at this Somalian situation, I mean, the controls over the fraud were non-existent. They didn't want to. They knew what was going on. Walls knew what was going on. They didn't want to do anything. They wanted them here because they vote for them. It's what we've been saying from day one. As long as you will vote for me, we don't care who you kill, who you maim, who you rape, what you steal. As long as we get power, it's for the greater good. And until we wake up and understand that this country is being invaded by foreigners, Muslims, Somalians, whatever you want to call them. This is a full-scale invasion, and they figured out how to take over our cities.
We're going to lead the charge, John.
We got to do something. Trump If he wants to win again in the midterms, nobody's got to do. Get him out of there. Put in
Correct.
armies of people, armies, and every Somalian that has an expired visa, put him on a boat and get him the hell out. They do
Exactly.
that, he's going to win. They don't.
Yep.
It's just talk. All we get is talk. It's just Jim Comer or whatever his name is having another hearing. Basically, it's a circle jerk. Hate to say that, but that's what it is. And he's the pivot man. I mean, I hate to be coarse, but we're sick of this. This is why young people are pissed. Wait, we got another hearing, another oversight. We want action. We want accountability. Do something. We're not doing anything. That's the problem.
Well, thank you, Joe, what you're doing, John. By just what you said, we're getting the word out. I believe we represent the will of the American people. Administration, you better listen, or you're a lame duck in the next 2 years, and your legacy won't exist.
Am I being Indiana nice?
Well, I was born in Indiana, so we're both being Indiana nice.
Michael, people want to follow you on social media. Where do they go?
Well, if they want to go to our website, that's investusa.org. It's a charity.org. Support our first responders. Let me throw this out real quick, John. We don't issue active shooter vests to National Guards members unless they go into a combat situation. So they're going to need our help as well. Let's make sure that we protect those who are protecting us. God bless America, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Michael, to you and your wife. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
God bless.
Your calls when I get back, 888-480-JOHN. Ryan, am I being Indiana nice? Ryan says I'm being nice. Larry, am I good? Larry's on his phone. Am I being Indiana nice?
Yes.
See, everybody says I'm Indiana nice. I'm turning over a new leaf. It's the new John, Indiana nice. By the way, I'll be at War Room at 10:15. I got to be nice there too. I'll be right back. Your calls, 888-480-JOHN.